Hello, everybody. Your ears are not deceiving you. Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am James, but I'm the redacted one.
And I'm James Junior. And yes, we have tracked him down. We have trapped him once again. He is tied to his chair with duct tape, and we're making him sit down and record an episode.
Yeah, what basically happens is they lead out, like E.T. with Reese's Pieces or whatever it was. That's how they lead me with food to come to the chair and the microphone.
Yeah, Werther's original and a nice cup of hot chocolate.
Oh, God, if only. If only that'd actually provide me with sleep.
So how have you been, absentee?
Well, I have literally been the absentee. I've been away as all the tadpoles will know. I've been busy working and dealing with other crazy things.
Redacted.
Correct. Redacted. I cannot discuss what I worked on. However, I have managed to see my blurry ass self on a show I was on, where you wouldn't know it was me unless you possibly had a wild guess it was me. See me coming in the back, walking along a corridor in the background. Not coming it, although with the nature of something I was in, yeah. But we'll go on it. That's just totally. If you've seen, to explain what it is, it's Brassic. And if you have seen the last series, you will understand some of the things I'm commenting upon. But yes, I was in one of the, I think it was the first episode or second episode of that. So yeah, very enjoyable. Wonderful time working with them. Really nice people. Great cast. Great production company, etc. Yeah, really enjoyable.
And you got to come on camera.
Well, no, it's just it's yes. To be fair, people, you will understand that comment if you watch the episodes in question from the final series. So I got on to be on for the final run, which was nice. But yeah, brilliant, loved it. It was really good fun.
As long as they didn't cancel because you were on it. It was like, oh God, he's on it now. We're ending it.
I think they'd already made. I think they'd already made the decision to cancel. But yeah, truly wonderful time working on that. That's quite early on this year, actually. It all blurs into one. But hopefully, a few of the things I've been in will appear, and I won't have been cut from them. But
oh God,
that's the nature of the job.
That always upsets me. The fact that like speaking of being cut from things, the story of Rick Mayall at the very first Harry Potter. Had his entire family with him, and no one told him all his scenes has been cut from the final production.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening a few times with actors. I mean, I'm an SA, so I'm not kind of important on that level at all. But you do hear people. I think it was can't remember what the guy's name. It sadly escapes me, but he was in I think it was Sequest DSV. He was the young lad in that, and he's since passed away. But he had tried to be in, I think it was the Thin Red Line or something, and he thought it'd be like the Brandon, is he called something Brandon? It was he thought it'd bring his career back to the heights it had once been, and they cut all his stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, surely there must be. I mean, at the end of the day, at least he still got paid.
Yeah,
I know it's a horrible kind of compromise, but it's like, yeah, but I got paid and I wanted to be in it. It's that, not to be told before the premiere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough to say why they wouldn't be told, obviously, but yeah, you would think somebody somewhere, when you an actor would tell you of this, but I don't know. The world's a strange, mysterious place.
I know. Look at us. We're in it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, all I can say is you turn up, you do what you're asked to do, and that's it. And you're either in or you're out.
Yeah. Try not to ruin it for everyone else.
Correct. Just do. Well, the big thing is, it's like most things in life, do what you're told to do. Don't bugger about, and you should be okay.
Don't try and show off. Don't try and add some flair to it. Just do as you're told.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm sure you will get people who do that. I've never seen that, and I wouldn't do that. But I'm sure you'll get some people who will think they're all singing, all dancing, and no, that's not. Anyway, that's not how it operates.
I have to admit, I've always been curious as to, have you ever been in a position where you've got some real life experience in one of the roles where you've had to like step up and go, no, that's not how that works?
Not yet. And you'd be walking a very fine line to do that. You can always make a suggestion what you could, what, could I try this? Could I do this? And you're either going to be told by the director or the AD yes or no, or that's a good idea. We'll try it and see what it does. So yeah, but yeah, I guess if you have, well, yeah, but I guess if you have some experience, that might be able to, you might be able to give it. Well, I don't know that, but I do know someone who has had that experience because he's a former police officer and he was in the show Sherwood playing a police officer. So when they found that out, they went, right, we'll let you do a bit more stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that always got me. Obviously, I'd be in a similar boat. Obviously, I'm ex-police, so procedural wise, to get it more accurate.
Yeah.
But I was curious as to whether you've had one where it's like so, because I've noticed this recently in some TV shows. Like, go on YouTube and you watch I've been watching shorts more often, and it's obviously little snippets of TV shows. But the number of times that I've gone through it and then gone to the comment section, like, so many people are just like, this scene really took me out of it because it would never get this far. Like this, it's that thing of writing for drama's sake and not actually thinking about what are the realms of possibility for this to happen.
It's true. But I mean, we're not the writers, so we don't make the decision. Can't really comment on that one. As I said, you just turn up, hit your mark, and do as you're told.
I don't care. I'm not paid enough for this. I'm not paid enough to correct someone.
Well, I'm not the director, am I? I mean, that's the thing that you always hear. Who was I watching? I was watching an interview with an actor, and he said they'd inadvertently say cut, and the director was like, "No, you don't say cut. I say cut."
Ooh.
It's because they tripped up. I think the actor had lost the way and tripped up. And guess we cut. And the director was like, "No, I tell you when to cut."
See, that sounds a bit power trippy on both sides. Because it's like, if the actor knows that they've messed up the line and they're going to have to redo it anyway, and obviously the actor's like, well, I've made the mistake. You might as well. But for the director to then turn around and go, no, it's my job. It's like two kids arguing.
I think it's more keeping the hierarchy going. I mean, generally, if something goes wrong, what you should do is you carry on and they will just redo it. It's not an issue, as I understand it. But that's the only thing I have that's come out that I can tell anyone to see. And if you see it, I am walking down a hallway, and it's my comments that James was laughing at relate to what's happening in the series, which are just I've watched it. It's something else. The whole thing is very funny. But if you get a chance, I do recommend it. Nothing to do with me, just you will laugh your ass off. It's brilliant.
And we can all point out and go, Stafford!
Yeah, maybe.
Well, since it's your first time back in a long time...
It does feel that way.
Have you got any Codswallop?
The Codswallop I have, we mentioned something earlier, but I'm not going to discuss it on here. But that was I managed to resolve myself. My Codswallop was we finished shooting one day and you finished early and you're like, brilliant, great, wonderful. Doesn't normally happen. It took me over 3 hours to get home because there'd been a crash on the motorway. That's my Codswallop. I was like, what the hell's going on?
And I'm guessing you weren't that far away from home as well, which made it even more frustrating.
At that point, it would have probably taken me in normal traffic half an hour, 3/4 of an hour.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
The good thing is I hadn't had a lot to drink, so I wasn't like sat in the car going, need the toilet, which does happen.
I was just about to say, Stafford, if you had something to drink, you shouldn't be driving. But I realised you just meant water.
Yeah. Yes, I'd not had too much water, thankfully. And used the bathroom before leaving the studio. So thank God.
Yes. The guest and co-host would like to point out that Talking Codswallop does not condone illegal activities.
No, we do not. We most certainly do not.
We will laugh though. We will laugh at them.
We can laugh at things, yeah. So what? But yeah, that was the most bizarre thing because I think that day in itself must have been really bad for traffic because people were having problems getting in. And it wasn't just me. It turns out maybe they just got a bit crazy on the roads. But yeah, that was not I got back and I'm like, I am so tired.
You're more tired from the drive home than you are from the day's work.
That day, I think possibly, yeah. And then I just got got my stuff in, had to get everything together because I was filming on something else the next day. So it's like in this zombified state going, what clothing am I? Oh, yeah. And yeah, and brilliantly, I must have been that tired. I actually slept well. Next day filming on this other project. Sounds a pound went really well.
And made it home in one piece.
Wood. Yeah. But I'm convinced the level of driving, I know I sound like an old git, but I'm convinced the level of driving is getting worse.
I can actually confirm this with a friend of mine. As I've said before, I tend to do airsoft on most Sundays. I have a driving instructor, and he's one of our regular players, and he said the exact same thing. Because I said to him, have you noticed anything coming? Because obviously I want to make sure I'm not being a miserable old git and just saying that everything is terrible. So I genuinely turned to him and said, look, you're a driving instructor. What are they like? What are the new generation of drivers like? And his exact words were bloody awful.
Yeah.
And he said one of the worst things that he's found at the moment is because a lot of the newer generation are used to just simply you press a button and it does something. A lot of people don't have clutch control. The idea of slowly, the idea of slowly moving one foot and the other, lifting off with one, pushing down with the other, is completely alien to them. He said the number of times he's had to tell people it's a pedal, not a switch, because they're just stamping on it and then immediately letting go. Like it's a go button, stop button, go button, stop button. But he also said that for the amount of people who seem to be obsessed with like having lots of things going on at once, like listening to, looking at the phone, listening to music, he said the attention span and the observation skills are just non-existent as well.
Oh, that's a bit worrying.
Well, he said he's also noticed a large rise in automatic only.
I was going to ask about that because, certainly the people I know who learned to drive later in life have gone with generally automatic only. Whether my next car that I pick will be automatic, I honestly don't know. Possibly because most people I know, like my dad, he never, ever, ever drove automatics until he got his most recent car. But he just finds it far more relaxing to do. And my friend's just got a new car and he's got the same thing for him and his wife at an automatic. So
I refuse.
We change up.
I refuse.
Pray tell why.
Point blank, I refuse. I refuse to let anything else be in control of the car.
Fair enough.
I hate driver assists. I hate mainly because it's usually like, especially with like driver assists, like, oh, my car's got self-parking. That means you're going to forget how to park.
My father's car's got self-parking and he refuses to use it.
Yeah, because when it goes wrong, one, your skills are going to be rusty. So you're going to forget how to have done, because you'll be like, but the button does it. But the button does it. Yeah, well, button's now broken. So not only is that probably going to cost you an arm and a leg to fix, you now have to park your car. And because you've relied on it so heavily, you can't do it.
Well, even the guy at the car dealer said to me, my daddy went, go on, who's been brave enough to try the self-parking?
No.
Yeah, I know a friend who's got it, and he was saying that it can be, you run too much of a risk of bumping things. So
I always get that, like, it's just that thing of, I don't trust anything that is entirely reliant on an electrical system. I know it sounds really stupid, but I actually have a problem flying.
Go, please tell.
Because most modern jumbo jets are what's called fly-by-wire. There's no physical connection between the controls and the actual like control surfaces on an aircraft. So the rudder, the ailerons, everything is connected via computer.
Mm-hmm.
And they all say that there's like multiple redundancies, but planes still fall out the sky. And it's kind of obvious when they do.
So if we have interest, what are we hitting on your Codswallop? If we hit your Codswallop, do you have a Codswallop? You did, letting the tadpoles into conversations, you did discuss getting absolutely soaked in a field. So that could be.
That's just now leading to, that was just an unfortunate thing of, because everyone else wanted to play out in the rain, I got stuck out in the rain, so I'm now fighting off a cold myself, much like you. So that's partly one of mine. But my other one is, unfortunately, I had my MOT at the end of last month. It was due on the 5th, so I had it done a little early, and I got the dreaded. I had a wonderful. Well, I say wonderful. I had a very unusual conversation with my mechanic when he came to drop it off. He went through the usual things of, here's what I've had to do to get it through, and then he said, your car's probably not going to make it through your next MOT.
Not what you want to hear.
No, not at all. Not at all. So I was like, pray tell. All he said was, yeah. And he, obviously, I'm like, why? And he said, basically, it's turning to Swiss cheese underneath.
I know people who that's happened to, whether they on like somebody I know had, like, it was an MX-5 and like it was all rusting away, and they've got a
very. Unfortunately, it's very common on Japanese cars, and I too have a Japanese car. So MX-5 is Mazda, my car's a Mitsubishi. So unfortunately, it's the same thing. But my Codswallop lies in the second-hand market less. So it's not really about the car. Again, my car is a 2005. I knew it's 20 years old. We're going to start getting into the problem areas. My Codswallop is, oh dear God, what the hell happened to the second-hand market?
Yes, welcome to Car Corner, everybody.
I know. I did warn Gemma this was a possibility of happening, but unfortunately,
it's a shame we can't channel the ghost of Quentin Wilson at this point.
I know.
That was very sad. I like Quentin Wilson.
That was, and especially with when the newspaper reported it as a short period of illness. Obviously, it's going to be exceedingly sudden. Yeah. So I am sorry, because that's as you said, one of the original TopGear trio.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very sad that Quentin's passed. But yeah, I was like, okay, let's have a look and see what's out there. And I think one of the most painful things I found was to get a car. Because the thing is, I like my car, and even my mechanic said mechanically, like the engine and actual running gear of it, it's absolutely fine. He said it's probably going to run another 10, 15 years. He's never had to touch anything. It just goes and goes and goes. The problem is the bits holding it together are giving out. But I went looking up on Auto Trader, just out of curiosity, how much it would be for the closest I could get in trim, make, model. And I found a 2006 plate Mitsubishi, but it was an estate instead of the saloon, which I've got, but it had the same interior. £3,500.
Yeah, prices. My friend was saying that he recently got I don't know what it is, one of these MG things. It's like a 4x4, and he was saying,
the MG6.
Yeah, prices had gone nuts. I mean, I think like my dad got his, he got it like the best. The market had gone nuts and then suddenly dipped again. He got it just at the dip point because he's now gone crazy again.
Well, the problem I keep thinking is, like, I got my car for £600.
Oh, those days are long gone.
I know, and it depresses me.
Do you remember the good old days when you could buy, like, I honestly remember seeing this second-hand Golf Mark II for like £130.
I was just about to say, you could go on, even on Facebook Marketplace, because usually Facebook Marketplace is, you want to get rid of it quick. And even I was struggling there, because it's like, I remember you used to be able to get like £250 would get you a relatively new Ford Fiesta or a VW Polo, just something. Or it would occasionally be like, you'd be able to get something that's like due up for its MOT, needs major work, but someone will let it go for an absolute steal. I apologize for the silence. Stafford's been sneezing.
I was blowing my nose, and I know Gemma would fear this and be repelled by it. So I, being a nice, kind person, have muted because I'm schnuffly still. But yeah, it is kind of terrifying on the car market. I occasionally look around to try and work out what I potentially get next when the Audi dies. And yeah, I've not a clue.
That's my biggest grief. Is it's like there's no value in anything anymore.
Well, the scariest thing for me is if you bought a nice spec car now, you have to buy the bloody add-ons. You know, like they've got like is it BMW do? I don't know if it was threatened to happen, and they tried it where you'd like have to subscribe to get your heated seats or something.
I don't know if that's still ongoing or not, but I do remember seeing the headlines and it just being like, it's like you have to subscribe to your own car.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a strange place.
I know Dodge has been getting in trouble for pushing a notification on their infotainment screens. So basically, nowadays, most cars have a one big touch screen that does everything. It has all your controls, your radio, your radio, your navigation, but also like your heating controls as well. And they've been pushing an advert to these screens whilst you're driving.
Whoa, that's a bit risky.
And the worst thing is, where you would normally click no, the way they've worded it isn't actually a no. So what'll happen is if you click what you think is no, it actually is more like a snooze button. It doesn't go away. It just goes away temporarily and then will come back again.
Oh, it drives me bonkers.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons because I don't want anything. The only thing I'm looking for really is I want a estate, something a bit bigger.
Yeah, you can haul more crap then. It's brilliant. I'm toying with an estate.
But they've all gone. No one makes them anymore. With the exception of because everyone's gone for crossovers. So if you want cargo space, you've got to get a crossover like SUV. And then again, you get into ridiculous money. But what you got to remember with me as well is I'm on limited income. I can't get a car through Motability because I'm too physically fit by their standards. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of stuck.
Volvo?
I'm thinking about getting one of the older ones.
Yeah.
But again, they hold their value. So again, no one wants to get rid of the old bricks either. So at the moment, I'm forced to just see what we can do. But my dad's just bought a new van, which is hilarious. No.
Oh, not. I give a thumbs up because there's no visual for you, so.
No, it's not a thumbs up. It's not a thumbs up, James. It's a thumbs down. It's a 2 thumbs down. He's bought a 2001 Ford Escort van.
I didn't know Ford Escorts were made as vans.
Oh yeah, this is ex-Royal Mail.
Oh, right, yeah. I can visualise that.
He's got Postman Pat's van.
He's got a Postman Pat van. Can you get him a stuffed cat to put in the front?
I'm going to give him ours. Ours is black and white.
Makes sense. So what persuaded him? What possessed him, shall we say, to get a van?
As far as I'm aware, pure insanity.
That can happen.
Because my dad at the time was driving my spare car, and this is where the situation with my current car gets even more annoying, because I do actually have a spare car. The problem is it's a hot hatch.
Right. Yeah.
So it's completely useless to me. Like it would be perfect, but I can barely fit in it. My knees hit the dashboard every time I change gear, and that's with the seat pushed back as far as I can go.
Yeah, not ideal. I mean, could you go mental and buy an old Range Rover?
No.
I mean, you'll never have any money because you will become really, really good friends with the breakdown recovery man. Though.
Yeah. Well, this is the irony. The guy he bought the van off is my mechanic who does all my MOTs.
I mean, if you buy a Range Rover, you'd be like sending Christmas cards every year to the breakdown guy.
I already do at this point. He rescued my car when the clutch went. But so basically, the guy, the mechanic who does my MOTs, basically sold my dad this van, and it's not bad. But it's 2001, but it's only got 45,000 miles on it.
That's pretty good.
And mechanically, it's been looked after. It's a bit rough. It is a 10-footer. So for the tadpoles who are listening, a 10-footer is, it looks good from 10 feet away. The minute you get any closer, you start seeing the problems, like the overspray on the bonnet, and the fact that someone's clearly patched it up with a spray can.
Well, at least they weren't using a paintbrush.
That was true, or a paint. I could have coped with paint roller, and obviously 2001. It's starting to show its age. It's got dents. It's got bits of rust sneaking through. But he bought this van because he was like, "Oh, I'm sure it'll be cheaper." And to be fair, it has been working out for him, and he does love it. But I discovered it's got a 1.8 diesel engine. It's got 55 brake horsepower.
That ain't good. That won't pull the skin off a rice pudding.
It's adorable.
Oh my God.
Absolutely adorable.
Getting up a steep hill would be an experience like no other.
Yeah, but he's having a whale of a time in it. He absolutely loves it. Because I don't know what his obsession was. I don't know whether he got the van life bug or what. But now he's got his van. He's happy. But this is the other problem with the whole my car situation. So because he was using my spare car, that's now in his garage. But I can't sell that car because it's got paint issues.
Right.
Because again, the hot hatch has peeling paint and it's like the lacquer's coming off. So it needs respray. And the problem is I can't afford the respray to sell the car for what it's worth the most, which in its current condition would be enough to purchase a new vehicle for me. So I'm in this weird limbo of I would have to sell the car I've got, go without, try and get the backup car in perfect nick, sell that, and be completely without anything, and then go and find something.
It is the buggeration factor, and just as a side note, when we discuss breakdowns, when I've sat in that like 2.5 hour traffic jam, the amount of people who obviously broke down, so they're on the hard shoulder, and I felt so sorry for them because I thought, you're waiting hours normally. In this queue of traffic, God knows when a breakdown person actually get to them.
Well, I always wondered, like, you've got to remember that the hard shoulder is only 1 lane wide. Say you've got 3 cars broken down, one behind each other.
Yeah.
You're in the middle, but your rescue guy turns up. If all 3 lanes are jammed up and then you're stuck in the hard shoulder, how the hell is he going to get to you?
I have no idea. I mean, thankfully there weren't cars in that situation, but it was I did feel very much for these people. Very difficult. But on a car front, I'm trying to think, so you weren't an estate. Skoda, they do quite nice estates.
Again, name one that hasn't been turned into a taxi and either ruined that way or...
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of options. Like, in make and model, there's loads of options. My problem is, it's the price range.
I still find myself lusting, even though it'd be going smaller, a Skoda Octavia VRS.
Yes.
Just for the sheer fun of driving it and seeing what it was like. Throwing it around corners.
I've taken a I would say a punt, but I've taken a massive gamble in. I've discovered a new website. It's quickly becoming my new favorite. It's called Retro Shite.
I've heard of them and I've seen this stuff, yeah.
So some tadpoles may have noticed that there are a rising trend of companies who run raffles.
Yes.
And usually, well, what they will raffle off is they will raffle off a very, very exotic classic car. So, like, one of the ones I started watching and started following along was they were giving away things like RS Cosworths, Ford Escort RS Cosworths, Lancia Delta Integrales, really, really good, classic, well sought after cars.
Very much so.
But you would have the problem would be the price of the tickets would be like £50 a ticket. People would still enter. They're completely insane. And then I discovered Retro Shite, who, in their own words, specialise in it's old, it's shite, but we love it. And at the moment, they're running a raffle for a Subaru Impreza Turbo wagon.
Yes.
And it's £3.50 a ticket.
Yeah, buy a few tickets.
Daddy got 6.
Good man. Good man. Yeah, I've seen Retro Shite stuff. It's quite interesting. Because you're right. The other problem you get is that a lot of these things where they raffle stuff, if you look at, say, Matt Armstrong, he's raffling the cars he's fixed that are like exotics. Or I do wonder how on earth he would insure these things, because to find a company that'll insure, I mean, to insure a car that's been like, category S repaired, it's tricky in the most normal situations. But if it's like, say, a Bentley Mulsanne,
I mean, again, you're already looking at exotic, and then you add on top of its history. It's why it's one of the other reasons I like Retro Shite is they include the original registration, so you can check before you enter the raffle. Because most people will put little nameplates over the license plate. So it's like, you can win this Escort. God knows what the history of it is. For all you know, it could be a diesel someone converted.
And you see those Astras. What were they? The fast little Astras. You used to always see them in white from like the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
GTE or something they were called?
GXI.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, you used to get the Carltons.
Oh, a Lotus Carlton.
No. The one that Vauxhall, the top spec one that Vauxhall did, that everyone then made to look like the Lotus.
To look like what? Ah, right. Yeah. Yes.
So it still only had the front wheel drive.
Ah, well, I love those cars. What were they? It was Carlton, wasn't it? Yeah, just Carlton. The Carlton. Then there was some other, like the exotic
Omega.
European name for them. Yeah.
Well, there was the Omega. For Vauxhall, it was the Omega and the Carlton, and then they kind of got wrapped up into the Insignia. That's when the Insignia took over. But yeah, an original Lotus Carlton would have been hilarious.
How to crash into something? Well, they kept being used for like ram raids, didn't they?
Yeah,
criminal.
Because you couldn't get caught.
Endeavors. Yeah.
It was the Lotus Carlton was one of the most stolen vehicles, as was it was the Ford Sierra. The Sierra Cosworth was one of the most stolen cars, because again, they were big, because they were bigger than the Escorts at the time. They were fast. And the Sierra Sapphire, which was the model down from the Sierra Cosworth, still had the same four-wheel drive system, so it still gripped the road and drove well. But because there were more of those, they weren't on the radar as much as the Cosworths were.
True,
and you were never safe.
We'll get out of the old Git car corner in a minute, people, I promise. But like the other one, I saw it recently, I think it's put on Retro Shite, was the Ford Granada. Like the 90s, I love those cars. And then the Scorpio variant, where it was like the top of the tree kind of thing. I mean, as ugly as it was, and it was hideous, the one they replaced it with, I kind of like, because it was so loaded with kit, but it looked like, a frog had some kind of strange smiley incident.
Yes, the Ford Scorpio replaced the Granada, and it was a hideous malformed thing, but they all came with V6s, which was awesome.
But it was I always loved the design of the one before that, which was like the kind of classic prig going from like the late 80s into early 90s look. That was a lovely car, but again, you'll never see many on the road, and if you do, you'll be paying one hell of a premium. But anyway, we've exhausted our car discussion.
Well, I think at this point, editing Gemma will be pulling her hair out. You're like, I don't care about any of this, but I need to make an episode.
Hey, it's all right, Gemma. It'll be fine. This is what you created. You wanted us both to record an episode,
and we don't do films anymore.
Well, yeah, not really. Although, have you? Gemma always asked me this one. What films have you seen? So, James, what films have you seen? Or TV, what have you watched? Anything interesting?
At the moment, I haven't been watching anything new.
Right.
I've experimented a little bit with some television. I'm watching some TV shows, but actually, film-wise, I've actually been I've been lacking in that department, unfortunately.
Well, I did hear a very good Back to the Future episode. That was quite interesting. I like.
Yeah. The hardest part about that one is actually not talking for 9 hours, because there's just so much to cover that you could talk about, and just trying to compress it and keep it down. So I was listening back to it, and I'm like, I forgot to mention this. I forgot to mention this. I forgot to mention this. All perfectly, all important things. Like, we completely forgot to talk about casting, which really annoyed me. I was like, oh, we didn't even mention the cast. Oh God. But this is the problem. This is the problem. Locally, we're only able to record for 2 hours max through StreamYard. So even if we'd wanted to, we couldn't have discussed it for as long as we wished. So it was one of those. But yeah, at the moment, I've just been. There was one film that I really wanted to go see, and then I completely forgot. I completely forgot to do it. It's by the production company A24.
Okay.
And it's I'm trying to remember. It's set during COVID.
Interesting. I don't know what it is. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think it's called, if I remember correctly, it's called Eddington.
Ah, that sounds vaguely familiar.
So it's set during the pandemic, and it's about a standoff between a small town sheriff and the current mayor. As basically,
it's Mark Hamill's in it, isn't he? Yeah, I've heard of this. I'm sure Mark Hamill's in it.
Nope. I'm just checking the cast now.
Then? I must be wrong. Well, I am wrong.
Because normally he'd be higher up. No, this one is Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal.
Interesting. That could be very interesting.
So basically, it's between Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro. So Joaquin Phoenix plays the sheriff who's running for mayor, and Pedro is playing the current mayor running for re-election.
Sounds like it could be good. Sounds like it could be good.
Well, that was the reason I watched it, because I felt like when I watched it, I got that feeling of they're actually going to touch on a positive side of the anti-lockdown movement. The idea of it's because, again, we don't discuss politics, but it's the idea of maybe locking everything down wasn't such a good idea. Maybe I like that idea of it, but wrapping that into the story. We've not seen any films about discussing the pandemic like this. So, and again, A24 at the moment have been knocking out nothing but hits.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their films are absolutely fantastic. So I was like, "Ooh, this one touches me in a special place."
Well, I saw. My father came to see me at the weekend, and we finally got around to watching Superman. Yeah.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, didn't really.
I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's James Gunn's influences. Like, I feel like he's turning into the new J.J. Abrams.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean, visually it was good, but there was something. It was an interesting thing because Zack Snyder's films were kind of criticized for having too many characters in them and too many plots. But to be fair, this was even worse.
Yeah.
And it was like a Superman film where Superman wasn't really even the focus.
No. Superman was a bit character in his own film.
Yeah, I think the dog did better than him out of it, to be honest.
I know. I'm an animal lover. I hate Crypto.
Crypto I enjoyed. He amused me. I mean, if I've got to be honest, the two characters I found the most interesting were Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner.
Yeah, I have to admit,
I thought they were the most
they
fun
carried
to kind
it.
of watch.
They carried it because Mr. Terrific was the straight man, which is what everyone needs, and Guy Gardner is the anti-hero. I got
very odd.
From the clips I've seen of it, I very much get a almost Deadpool Wolverine feel when those two are on screen. Guy's not taking it seriously. Mr. Terrific is like I'm the serious hero. But again, a lot of the fights just looked awful. The CGI did not look good. But like you said, it tried to introduce so many characters who, granted, you can't go around making a bunch of origin films. Not like Marvel. Like, this is the reason Marvel worked was because they took their time. They spent 20 years building up, and it's like, right, here's Captain America, here's Iron Man. We've done the Hulk already, so we're not going to do him. So here's a Thor movie. Then we bring them all together. And I still think DC is just trying to rush to get to the end point.
And that's kind of where I think that if Snyder had been given the chance to kind of do his template, a film on each character and spread it out, it would have worked better. But, his hand was held to the flame a bit, and he was told, you've got to hate Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest gripes was always it was like there was no Kevin Feige equivalent in DC. I think that's one of the other reasons it fell apart was it's like Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't a bad film in that it's competent. Mm-hmm. Yes, it has flaws. Like, again, I remember watching a breakdown of it. It's like the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Granted, it is hideously stretched out. It's way too long for what it needs to be. It's way too dark in that sense. But it was at least more competently shot than what Joss Whedon chopped up and presented. And it's that old adage, isn't it? There's too many cooks.
I hated the
too many people.
Film. I truly hated that. I remember coming out of the cinema thinking, God, that was awful.
I think there was only one scene that I liked in the Whedon one over Justice League, like in Zack's original Justice League. Superman getting a laugh.
Yeah.
After coming back, coming back from the dead and helping everyone, and he's lying there next to Cyborg, and they're joking about being, I feel like I died, and actually having a laugh. That was nice. I like seeing that in Superman, and I would have liked to have seen that at the end of. But again, just there's too many. Again, I understand why Zack lost his daughter.
His daughter, yeah, his daughter.
In the middle of production, and Warner Bros. Were just like, well, it's all right, we'll bring someone else in. No!
Well, I think they were pretty shitty with him to begin with because they were trying to steer him a certain way, and that probably gave them the unfortunate excuse to go, we can dump your ass. But
yeah,
it is what it is. Hey, we are where we are. But another film I saw, and as I watched, I thought of you, which was the Tron Ares, and again visually wonderful, but it was. I'm still not entirely sure what I watched. I mean, I loved it and the visual. I love the visuals, which is again what I love about Tron Legacy. But I'm like, this film is trying to probably a bit like Superman. It was trying to do too many things. And like almost do the greatest hits thing of going, right, we'll take all these characters, we'll do this. And whereas I know you weren't a fan of Tron Legacy, but at least with Tron Legacy, they kind of got into it pretty quick. They gave you a reasonably quick introduction and they hit the ground running. This one didn't feel like that very much.
Well, I think my biggest issue is again, anything with Jared Leto, and I'm automatically like, Jared Leto is not a nice person.
This
like,
may be
off camera.
Yes.
The man runs a cult. The man is a cult leader. I don't understand why he has a career in Hollywood, except I do. But what I mean is the fact that more people aren't bringing this up in every interview of like, why do you have a sex island?
You did call him a cult. You say it was a cult, right? I've not misheard.
Yeah, I didn't use the N word. Calm down.
Good. No, bit of humour, but yeah, it's a strange one.
I did not call him a see you next Tuesday. I can if you
What
want.
what I did like about it is that I've gathered he went method and wished to be referred to as Aries, and basically Jeff Bridges was like, "I'm Kevin Flynn. I'll call you whatever the hell I want."
I don't know if you've any experience with method actors, but I like hitting them in the face with a spade.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, Tron Ares. I'm glad I saw it, but yeah, that was weird, man. It's a bit like that. The other film I saw, is it called The Smashing Machine with Dwayne Johnson?
Oh yeah,
and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, that's the one where he plays the MMA fighter.
God, that was that was Mark something, I think he was called. That film just dragged and dragged.
Yeah, a lot of people said it was way too long.
I sometimes wonder on these films, the like bizarrely with Superman, I kind of wondered if it had a lot deleted.
Yeah, Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr. But I did wonder on like Superman, there'd been a lot deleted that should have interlinked it better. The same thing with the Smashing Machine. As long as it was, you kind of jumped around with it, and I was like, "This is, it's weird." I don't know. It's where I've had the small amount of time to watch stuff. I've tried to cram things in. So I watched Waltzing with Brando about Marlon Brando, and that was good. Bit weird, but my God, Billy Zane, that makeup department need an Oscar because they really pulled that off.
Do you know what? I will say this, and I will say this happily. Billy Zane's a better actor than everyone makes him out to be.
I think he's very good. He was really good in this. And when they made him look like Brando, it was freaky.
It was like Uncanny Valley almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. If you put him side by side, images of him as the Godfather against Brando as the Godfather, honestly, there are points where you couldn't actually work it out. I mean, I know they probably done like CGI stuff. They put him in interviews with Dick Cavett. But yeah, I enjoyed that film. And it had the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite in it as well, I've not seen for ages.
Yeah, because from my understanding, he wasn't actually. He's never been an actor. Like it was, like Napoleon Dynamite was almost like a performance piece. Like it's like it was more like a piece. Like he treated it more like it's a one and done thing. It wasn't that he wanted to be an actor. It's that he had this story to tell, so he just kind of did it.
He's not done much else that I know of. I think they did a remake of The Lady Killers or something years ago with Billy Bob Thornton, but he's not had like huge work after that. But it's good. That's probably the best thing I'd actually watched of the kind of main things I'd seen. Well, I've had a chance. Gemma. Hang on. Gemma. It's not all been cars. So,
I was going to say, what did you think of Superman? The actor.
I have to tread carefully because I know someone who I sort of through somebody knows someone who knows him. So
Stafford's going to get beat up by Superman.
I think he was. To be fair, I think he was good. I would have preferred him to have been given something a bit different to deal with, script wise. But I liked him. The suit is awful. It's awful, and the one thing that really got me is the way his parents, his adoptive parents are portrayed. I don't know. It's like they were portraying them as hicks, basically. Which, if I was from Kansas, I'd be quite offended by.
Yeah, because I always got the idea that Martha and Jonathan Kent were supposed to be like very kind because that's what Clark took to be human. But it was like, yeah, they were hardworking farmers. They weren't hicks. They weren't.
It's like they were slow. This is what I couldn't quite get my head around watching. I'm like, it's they're portraying them like they're not all there, and that isn't right.
No, like their kindness came from their stupidity rather than their good nature.
Yeah, it's it was almost. It was. I hate to say, it was almost like Cletus from The Simpsons. It was almost like that. Like they were
Yeah.
talking, they were going slow, and then suddenly there's a point where Pa Kent starts speaking more normally. I'm like, well, that I can buy. But I don't know. It was weird. Again, the film was strange because it felt like it was missing. It was long, but it also felt like it was missing. Like I'm sure Gunn will release some, extended cut that will probably make things make more sense. I mean, it's not the worst film I've seen. You don't think so?
I know what he'll do. He'll
Go
do
on.
what he did. He'll do what he's done already with Peacemaker. He'll make a TV show he'll make a TV show that you'll have to watch to then draw it in.
Yeah, he's doing something with Jimmy Olsen, I believe. See, but my other problem is I'd seen Peacemaker season 2, or whatever number it's now. It was 2, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm watching, and before I saw Superman, so I was kind of liking bits of Superman, going, all right, I understand this more now.
I haven't watched season 2 yet because I just can't bring myself to do it. Because I liked season 1, and then I watched it for a second time, and obviously second time, a bit more of a critical eye. You start noticing the flaws, but then I started noticing, apparently with season 2, there's a lot more retconning.
Yes,
like
there is one major bit of retconning.
It opens with the retcon of the fact that the Justice League is not the Justice League; it's now the Justice Gang.
Yes, correct.
Which then makes half the jokes not make any sense. Because how can Aquaman fuck fish if he's not there?
Yeah. I mean, it was. If you ever see Tulsa King, all I'm going to say is, so basically, I've stopped watching. I'm not got to the end of the new series, but basically, I think that someone went to Tulsa King, stole some of the actors from it, and basically just stuck them in Peacemaker. I know that for a fact because not giving it away, but Frank Grillo was having to literally kind of come off one thing, go to that,
bounce from one set to the other. Yeah.
Who's brilliant. I love Frank Grillo. I think he is probably far more interesting to watch than some of the other characters in Peacemaker. But yeah, I mean, I would say on Superman, I enjoyed David Curran Sweat. He's not bad. I was slightly amused that at one point when there's a scene with him where his hair's ruffled, and I think his hair dyed because he must have dyed his hair to play Clark.
And it's slightly running.
It doesn't run, but you can see a difference in his natural hair color against. It's just this one bit. I'm like, that's really noticeable. But yeah, I think if you give him something else, and please a better suit, it looks like he's going scuba diving.
Well, I was going to say, going back to Frank Grillo, have you seen Boss Level?
No.
Boss Level is brilliant. That is one film I have seen recently. It's basically a guy
I've heard of it. Yeah.
The concept is pretty basic, but it's basically guy gets stuck in a time loop.
You've sold me. That sounds something I'd like.
But it's ex-military soldier gets stuck in a time loop. So obviously every time he dies, it's the same gimmick as the Tom Cruise one.
Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same concept of he's got to get to an end goal, and every time he dies, he learns from his mistakes, changes his approach. But it's really well shot. And again, Frank Grillo is the lead. He does a superb job. He's got the comedy chops for it, the right points. He's got the action chops for it, so it's believable when he's fighting and training because he's got the right frame for it. So that's definitely one I would recommend.
Interesting. I'm sure I read this. They're potentially doing a sequel to Live, Die, Repeat, so that could be could be interesting.
Well, I found it interesting because if I remember correctly, Emily Blunt's character in that, she explains that she can actually she lost her version of that power. So it'd be interesting to see if that's what's going to happen in the sequel to Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Or, I mean, how that's possible, but we'll see.
I mean, another film I have to watch that was recommended to me was it wasn't really recommended to me. They said it wasn't particularly good. Was the Frankenstein film, the new one? So I do need to see what that's like. It's Del
Yeah.
Toro, isn't it?
My wife said the same thing. She said it's hideously long.
Ah,
It's like 2.5 hours.
okay. Need
So
toilet breaks for that one.
Oh God, yes.
But no, I will give
again, it's supposed to be really good, but you know, it's that thing of you've got to be able to stand it.
Well, it's like Oppenheimer. I truly loved Oppenheimer. It's a long film, but I love that. Well, loved is probably the wrong word. It's not that kind of thing. I found it very enjoyable, and even though I have a lot of knowledge of what happened, the reality, before I even sat down to it, I still found myself on the edge of my seat, which was something to. It's a nice thing to actually have to happen when you're watching a film, rather than just being kind of like. I mean, you do get the ones where you stick your brain in neutral and watch it, and it's enjoyable. But I do like something where there's a bit of meat on the bones to it.
Yeah, you just like seeing Sydney Sweeney naked.
Do you know I have not seen anything she's in? Not that I'm adverse
She's in
to seeing
Oppenheimer.
her.
She's in
Sydney Sweeney
Oppenheimer.
As who? That's no. You've got the wrong person. You're thinking of the girl. Do you mean the lady he has the affair with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Sydney Sweeney. That's the lady who was in Thunderbolts.
Oh no, that's Florence Pugh in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, thumbs up to Florence Pugh, but that's not a. Yeah, no, Sydney Sweeney. She's in this boxing film that people are getting all bent out of shape over. Yeah, people. It's something where she plays a boxer, and they're saying it's got bad reviews and things. I don't know. I don't know what it is, unfortunately.
No. Who bothers keeping up?
True. But yes, I've been. That's pretty much it. And unfortunately, I've not been. I want to go to the gym, but until I've shaken this whole ghastly cold, I won't be doing that, because invariably, if I go back too early, I just end up becoming even more sick.
Well, that's a shame, because that means we don't have any more tales of the Shouty Man.
Well, weirdly, Screaming Shouty Man is nice, and he's a nice guy. When I've conversed with him, he's not, which has been rare, but he doesn't seem to have been in very much when I've been in, or I've been leaving just as he gets in. So yeah, interesting days. I'll tell you one really weird thing that just popped in my head. So when I came back from the Halloween party I've been at, thank you, Sophie, for inviting me. It's early hours of the morning, so I travelled home because had the stinking colds were starting. I felt awful, and I'm looking as I'm going along the road. I'm like, what the hell is that in front of me going along flying? A very, very, very big barn owl, which was pretty and it's getting lower and lower. So I'm slowing down. So I thought, if I clip this thing, it's going to be very messy.
Yeah, there's hitting a bird, and then there's hitting a barn owl,
because they're big. That was something. I mean, it was so cool to see that. So cool. And on the way, Catherine, I also, when I was going to the party, we talk about like how badly people drive. Someone had driven a BMW into a wall, and the police were there with it. So they must have abandoned it. I mean, they'd literally just driven it into the.
I have a funny story.
There's
a viral clip. There's a viral clip going round of a woman in a white BMW. She hits someone's wall, and when she gets out, she actually says to the guy recording, who owns the wall, "Your wall just hit my car."
Okay. I mean, that is one way to look at it.
That is her defense. And despite the fact he's trying to point out to her, how, my love, the wall doesn't move. She's just acting.
It's taking a different approach to it. It's like when Alan Partridge talked about the Titanic. You know, there are thousands of miles of, uneventful sailing. No one ever talks about that.
Nope. Only the iceberg. Well, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop, don't you?
I think for Gemma, we've definitely talked about enough Car Corner. I mean, if you want, we could try and squeeze another hour of Car Corner in, so she's really got to work the old editing.
Kill us both. I think
probably
she'd kill us both.
Yeah, she'd hunt us both down
with chainsaws.
Yeah, it'd be like a cross between American Psycho when he's got the chainsaw and something from Predator.
Benny Hill.
the
Benny Hill music playing as she chases us.
Most definitely.
In that case, then, I have been James Junior.
I have been James something or
Older.
other. Redacted James, maybe. Older, the voice. I go under many names. I've got so many pseudonyms now.
Oh. But yes, we've been talking enough Codswallop, so thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Boom.
Shakalaka.
At least you didn't
I'm
promise
waiting
to
for
lay
you.
it down.
Yeah.
At least you
Should we just
promised-
we could stay quiet for the entire thing.
I was so tempted to.
Just put an entirely quiet recording with it, occasional.
Yeah. Just this is what men talk about when we're on our own. We just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, coughing and possibly newspaper rustling.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.